Order of operations. The objective of this video is to learn how to simplify numerical expressions using order of operations. First, we have to recall Lesson 1 Integer Operations. Pause your video, try and do these 4 problems, and then press play to see if you got the answer correct. Pause your video now. So first, you want to remember we are adding or subtracting here. So that means different signs we are going to subtract. 7 is the bigger number and it's positive, so my answer will be positive 4. Here we have the same signs, so we are going to just add. And because it's both negative, my answer will be negative 8. For number 3, we are multiplying because when you have 2 numbers in parentheses, that means to multiply. So we're going to multiply like regular. 4 times 2 is 8. Because they're both the same sign, that gives me a positive answer. And then we are going to divide for number 4 because a fraction means division. This will give me 8. Because one of them is negative and one of them is positive, this will produce a negative answer. So what is order of operations? Basically, this means that there is a certain way we have to do things in order to get the question correct. So we like to use GEMDAS, which means G for grouping. Any grouping symbols like parentheses will go first. Please note that when the parentheses are used for multiplication, that does not mean grouping. E would go next, meaning exponents. Then we are going to multiply or divide, whichever comes first from left to right, and then we would add or subtract. So you kind of want to write down GEMDAS nearby, especially when you first start doing this. So G goes first. Anything that's being grouped together, that does not mean multiplication. So I'm going to do 11 minus 2 and 5 minus 2. So that's going to give me 9. That's going to give me 3. And everything that I did not use, I will just bring down. So the division is coming down, the minus, and the 2. Then I'm going to go through my list. There is no exponents. So then multiply or divide next. That is there. We're going to do 9 divided by 3, which gives me 3. And then bring down the minus and the 2, which gives me the answer of 1. Notice how I wrote down a few lines in order to avoid confusion. If you try and do all of it in your head all the time, you can get confused. So now you try. Pause the video, try and do these 2 problems, and then press play to see if your answer is correct. Pause the video now. So remember, we're going to go through GEMDAS. So G, anything that is being grouped together. So 1 plus 5 gives me 6, and I'll bring down everything else. Division, 3, multiplication, 6, minus 3. There is no E. Then we're going to multiply or divide. 6 divided by 3 goes first because it's from left to right. So that gives me 2. We have another multiplication, 2 times 6. So that gives me 12 minus 3. So 12 minus 3 gives me 9. For our second one, we have multiple grouping symbols. So I'm going to start with the innermost parentheses first. So 13 minus 3, which gives me 10, and then 10 plus 2, which gives me 12. Division. Okay. Notice how this by that's in parentheses, because it's just a number by itself in parentheses, this does not mean grouping, this means multiplication. So I have to do the 12 divided by 2 next. So 12 divided by 2 is going to be 6, and then we're going to multiply 5 times 6, which is 30.